Oh man. Right, how y'all doing? It seems like absolutely everything today has been going against me to try and stop me from getting anything done. My only intention today was to hang out with Inky and get all the little nitty gritty bits done and do the Rand Nerds podcast, because in like a week's time we're going to be doing the double episode for Christmas, so I needed to make sure that episode 127 was done. It was only a short episode, about 2 hours, but I was talking complete babble the entire time. I was just going, I might as well have just been talking in tongues the entire time. So it's going to be a nightmare to edit. And stupidly, I got this crazy idea that it would be a good idea to edit it on the machine that we recorded it on, which is the stream rig in this room, which is like an old, I think it's like a quad core with 8 threads Dell desktop thing that's like $100. It's running Ubuntu, so I install all the the software that I need to do the edit, and it turns out, which is Caden Live, by the way. I edit the podcast in Caden Live. And turns out that Ubuntu Software Center, the version of Caden Live, is the old one. The old version of Caden Live, like versions old, like 17 or something like that. Which is the one that I used to like, because it had all the neat audio features in it. However, because I've gotten so used to the newer versions of Caden Live, it completely threw me out. I was like, fuck, I'm just going to go for a basic edit. Thankfully, it turns out it was only, basic, sort of kind of touch-up work, clean it, top and tails, job done kind of thing. But, and I also use YouTube DL, which is a thing to download YouTube videos, because I've lost the intro to the Rand Nerds podcast, so I always pull the intro, the Rand Nerds being typed out. I pull that from one of Ram's videos. Like, so I made the little intro. It's just literally the word Rand Nerds being typed out with a keyboard sound effect. I pulled that from Ram Rant's No Man's Sky. YouTube DL wouldn't work on Ubuntu. It just didn't work for me. 1 minute it did, then it was out of date, then I couldn't update it, then just everything went to pot. And then after I finished I got the intro, so I downloaded episode 126 of the podcast, cut it, and just, we're just going to stick this at the beginning of the podcast, it'll be fine, right? Put that in, finished the edit, and was like, right, here we go, export. For some reason, it took 10 hours. It was reporting 10 hours to render out like a 2-hour MP3. I normally edit on the newer version of Caden Live on Manjaro on a laptop that is nowhere near as powerful, and it doesn't take a fraction that long. In fairness, 2 hours of 2 hour plus render time is the same kind of like time I expect a 1080p vlog in H.265 to be rendered. That's about half an hour long. That's mental times, man, for an MP3. I was just, I don't believe it. So that completely threw a load of the stuff I wanted to do today out the window, because the stupid machine is the same machine that I was going to use to live stream with. And Inky went completely bat loco today and decided she was going to clean the house. And she picked a bad room to go into today. She was doing Noodle's room. She was, I'm going to reorganise all the stuff on the shelves and all that kind of stuff. Oh my god, I thought she was going to get buried. I was going to be like a bad scene out of like Indiana Jones or something. Like she moves something, just avalanche of stuff comes through. Like, I left her in there at one point. She's like, I'm just going to just hoover and organise some bits. Come back in there, everything was off the shelf. She was practically buried. I'm like, are you okay? She's like, oh my god, there is so much stuff in here. I was like, yeah, it's Noodle's room. Yeah. It was absolutely chaos. She said, he's been, he's got loads of sweets in here. The shelves are all sticky, like where chocolate bars have melted and come through the wrappers or whatever. I was like, yeah, I know. He's hiding them, so we don't find them. And there's just the shelves are like just this gloop of where like chewy sweets had melted and come through the package. Oh, it was. You expect your kid to have a sticky room, but at least not till they're like a teenager or whatever. It's like that scene at Black Book. It's like you seem to stick to the floor when you're over here. It's like, yeah, I like it that way. It stops people from running around, kind of thing. So I think he blitzed Noodle's room. Blessed, by the time the kids come home, that room was still a complete bomb site. I mean, honestly, it looked like something out of like World War II London. You know what I mean? And the kids. Oh my God, the kids, bless them. I'd taken a delivery of another LP today, Individual Thought Patterns by Death, and a like a stylus scale, pressure scale for the record player. And not long after that, my mother-in-law and my father-in-law burst in through the door with the kids, and Noodle, bless him, has hit the deck. Like, we already knew that William weren't feeling all that well. He had a virus, but my mother-in-law and father-in-law had took the boys to go get McDonald's, and I think they bought some stuff for us too. And Noodle was like brown bread, like he was complaining about being sick. And my father-in-law said that he was feeling sick too, and it was a bit like, oh man, that's pretty brutal, So, although in fairness, Noodle parked up. I put on the Death vinyl, and he parked up not because of the vinyl, but because we were showering him with attention and stuff. And Big Man was all chirpy and all that, showing off that he got some new shoes because they looked like the stuff that Terry wears. Terry Bogard from King of Fighters, although Terry wears Converse, and they're not Converse that Big Man's wearing. Anyway, I'm talking to my father-in-law about vinyl and all that kind of stuff. He thought it was pretty rad that we had a record player. I said to him, I haven't had access to a record player since my dad had a record player years ago, and I think he gave that to my uncle or my auntie at one point. And then, I've never had a way to play my vinyl. I completely forgot. I think I had some Celtic Frost vinyl as well. But I was like, I've never had a way to play it. And then Inky got this turntable, and so I thought I'd buy some vinyl for bands that I haven't listened to on vinyl before. Because I haven't got Death vinyl. I've got Death on everything else, just not vinyl. And Individual Thought Patterns is one of my favourites. I pop it on, and we're running it through the surround sound amplifier. And I'm going to throw out there, initially, up until this evening, I was like, oh, this sounds really thin and not nice. I prefer the MP3 and CD versions that I've got of it, because it just sounds like it's got more thump to it. And then it really felt thin to me. The range was there. There was, it was very dynamic. It was a good sound, but it almost sounded like. Have you ever heard like an audiobook or like a comedy recording or something where there's like different versions? Like it's the same show, but it's like you've got one at like one event, and then there's like a video version at another event, and they're the same, but they're a little bit different. They're subtly different. Individual Thought Patterns to me, because it was a 2-disc set, a 2 LP set. I thought I put the wrong LP on because there was a live show on LP2. And I was like, this just doesn't sound like how I remember it. No, it turns out I was listening to the normal LP. It seemed really, really weird. It was almost like, this is the demo version, and then they did some tweaks to it for the final release kind of thing. It felt really really foreign to me. And then this evening I plugged my phone into the amplifier and I turned off my EQ on my phone, and in fairness it sounded pretty much the same, kind of. Maybe I've just kind of... my ears have been really weird today. Everything's felt really kind of underwater, and my head has been kind of pounding all the time, so that's probably not all that good. But yeah, that vinyl sounded really fucking weird. Initially I wasn't all that impressed by it at all. And then I checked the tracking force of the player, the turntable. Fucking 6 grams, man. 6 grams of tracking force on that thing. Not good, apparently, by modern standards. They say, oh yeah, if you know, tracking forces of around 4 to 5 were fine, like back in the 60s kind of thing with ceramic cartridges. But now, really, you only want a tracking force of about 3 grams. This thing's like easily like 6 and a bit. And I was like, and they're like, yeah, you'll start to seriously damage your vinyl after about, 20 to 50 plays. And the cartridge will fail after about 80 hours anyway. And so, ooh. So, oh dear. I was asking a guy how he preserved his vinyl, and he said, yeah, I just didn't play it. But the best way to preserve it is to, he said, have you ever recorded vinyl to tape? Have you ever recorded tape to tape or CD to tape? I said, yeah, I used to all the time. It's like, well, that's how I used to, you'd buy the vinyl, you'd put it on your turntable, and you'd record it to tape, then you'd listen to it on your tape, and when the tape wore out, then you'd play the vinyl again. I was like, okay, rad. I'm going to be honest, I'm not too bothered about the tracking force kind of thing, so I might just be able to, put some washers in place to kind of weigh it the other way, like try and balance it a little bit to take some of the pressure off. But it's not something I plan to listen to every day, seeing as it's music that I already have like on DAPs or whatever. But yeah, so that was a bit of a shocker. I knew it was a low to middle of the road turntable, and it is a nice turntable. The sound quality you get out of it is pretty decent when you run it through my sound system. But that tracking force was a bit of a. I'm going to keep on using it. Let me say it. I don't want anyone to think I'm not going to use it just because it's got high tracking force. But because vinyl, I think, can easily take 6 grams, 6 to 10 grams. So, But anyway, says that. Then, like an idiot, I managed to drain all of my batteries. The camera battery was done. Even the coupler, I drained the battery for that as well. I was like, for fuck's sake, trying to set up for the stream, and I remembered I can't do that because the stupid fucking vlog podcast is rendering, and then oh god, and Inky's still blitzing the house, and then my mum comes home. I said my mother-in-law and my father-in-law go home, they're not feeling well. My mum comes home after her trip to Southampton. She'd had a pretty good time. She had planned to get home earlier, but tailbacks, and I was like, nothing today has gone according to plan for anyone. And the podcast finally rendered. Or exported. I haven't checked the file yet. Me and Inky have just spent the evening hanging out. After we got everything else done, pottering around the house, and Noodle's room is a bomb site still, I think. I haven't got in there, I didn't dare. Last I walked in there, he was organising his teddy by type. So, bears go over here, snakes go over here, but they're reptiles, and this can go with the reptiles, and then you've got the Mario teddies that go over here, and then you've got Pokemon toys can go over here. And oh my fucking god, man! It's like, yeah, but Mum said I've got to organise things. I don't think she meant quite that. And here's these bears. You see these in the art, so you're going to put these in with the polar bears, and you're like, oh my god, man! And here's a penguin, so that can go over with them too. It's like, all right, rad, and. Oh, and bless, Inky, she did my live stream for me. This is a completely, out there, babbling like fuck vlog. Inky did my live stream. We played The Sims because, obviously, the stream machine weren't ready to do Stadia. So that was nice. Because we didn't have batteries for the control pads. I can't find the dongle for my microphone, for the Outline wireless microphone, so I had to pull out another microphone, and that one of my recorders, and that didn't have any goddamn batteries, and so I was like, oh my fucking, why is everything today trying to go against us to get stuff done? But we got a quick setup cobbled together downstairs on the laptop. She played some Sims. I went and emptied my stomach. I've not been feeling great all day. And then I went and had a shower, and that now leads us to here. It's bedtime. It's bedtime. and all I wanted to do was get the podcast done. That was it. You want to do one thing that's simple and then everything else just goes to pot. Oh, just as a random note, Google Stadia now has a Buddy Pass thing available. The Buddy Pass that you could have got for the Founders Edition is now available, so I can give someone 3 months of Google Stadia Premium. I think I might give it to Inky, so maybe we can play some Destiny 2 together on Stadia, because I don't know how the cross-play, cross-save thing works with Destiny 2. Not that I don't think she'll play it, but I might give it to her anyway. I get her loads of stuff that she doesn't really want, all that she ever plays, like the Xbox and the PS4 and the Switch. The Xbox is probably the most used right now because she uses it for TV. Nothing went according to plan. Oh, it was pissing it down with rain as well, so she didn't get to go and do any gardening or stuff like that. The dog wouldn't go out anyway because she's still broken from yesterday. Just, nothing goes according to plan. Just roll with it. It's fine. It's life. But yeah, I'm going to head off and go crash out. Pointless vlog. Leprosy comes tomorrow, so I'm going to listen to that. I hope you're well. I'll see you all with a bit of luck tomorrow.